All right, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you guys tuned in yesterday, we had a lot of good stuff going on yesterday. We talked about the rules. We had a couple games getting played. It was a lot of fun. So today we're going to be doing some interviews, talking about some armies. You guys saw our schedule. We talked about it yesterday. We had moved stuff around a little bit to work with people's time. So with me right now, John Parsons. We're going to talk about Demons of Chaos. So I'm going to start off, John. So where are you from? What group are you a part of? And where do you play?
Well, I'm from Team Stomping Grounds. I play with you, and I play at your store, so it's pretty convenient. So I can just answer you to all three of those questions.
Yeah, it's part of our question here. Okay, what success did you have with the army with demons, and what kind of makes you a viable source here for demons for this talking about for this edition?
Well, I learned to play them with probably, obviously, one of the best players in the country, with Nick. I've been playing with him since. Well, I mean, I've been friends with him since he started building the lists he has. So I've been involved in a lot of it. Now, granted, I've just been a punching bag for list testing, but I have a lot of experience with them. I know how to play them very similar to the way he does. Obviously, not as good, but I do know I know how to interact with a lot of with every army because I've play tested with you guys. So I have a lot of background and experience on them.
Good. Okay, what did the army gain the most from moving forward to 7th edition? Let's talk primarily about Flying Monster Circus, or the FMC Demons, 'cause that's kind of the one everyone's been buzzing about.
Well, the two things that they gained, they can pretty much summon as many scoring units as they want anymore. So having only three plus the portal, doesn't really matter anymore. Hell, I don't even know if you need to take the portal, for being honest. Uh, the whole army being able to score is huge. Being able to ally with anybody who you want is really, really big because that opens up tons of possibilities. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've wished that I could run demons with Eldar, and now apparently I can.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and only one grounding check is very nice too at the end of the phase.
Yeah, the grind checks are huge. So what do you think was the biggest thing you lost moving forward with 7th?
My puppet master and
Yeah.
psychic phase, for being honest.
Yeah, so let's go a little bit of psychic phase. So obviously before demons have kind of been known as, oh, I have I have 5 psychers or 4 psychers flying around. I'm just gonna cast every psychic spell I want. So obviously now, and we kind of showcased that a little bit yesterday with how psychics work. You really need to commit dice to certain spells. What spells do you see the demons really needing to focus on getting off in a given turn? Like, so let's say you normally have what, every psyker has 3 spells at least. If you had to pick the 3 most important spells, what are you trying to focus on casting in a given turn?
I mean, obviously that's kind of a loaded question because it really, really depends on the situation. Every situation is different, but I will make a note that biomancy greatly, greatly improved, and it's no longer. I mean, I know a lot of people. There were 2 camps. There were the biomancy and the telepathy camp, and I know the biomancy camp just got a lot stronger, and no longer will I be nervous about making one roll in biomancy. Just because, like, let me put it this way: I'm more willing to do it. Telepathy, it did get worse, but some really good changes are mental fortitude for demons. You're now fearless, so now I can chuck it on a demon unit in combat and not have to worry about them dying, unless they get killed, obviously. But that's really big. Um, Invisibility, I'm sure you guys have harped on how amazing it is now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, utterly amazing. I mean,
So here's
go
another
ahead.
thought with invisibility. So obviously everyone's snap firing at you. If you're flying, I guess invisibility isn't really that fantastic because you're already getting snap fired at anyway. But it's fantastic until you're going to go on the ground and move in.
Well, consider this. Consider this. 2+ rerollable Fate Weaver in combat with a blob or whatever that doesn't have hit and run because Zandrak took it away, and now you hit him on 6s, you wound him on whatever, but he has a 2+ rerollable save,
All right,
and never going anywhere.
I like the sound of that a lot. Um, so let's look primarily. Okay, so we got FMCs. What do you think an FMC list is going to look like moving forward, having to make the appropriate changes?
Well, now that everything scores, I don't think you need the Helldrake anymore. I mean, this is now granted. Everything I'm saying is with looking at the rulebook for less than 24 hours, so this is all conjecture. But
Mhm.
my first impression is you don't need the Helldrake anymore. Turkey is not worth it because everything scores now. So you really don't need to just focus on scoring units. You need to kill everything or contest everything. So I think now, I mean, if you're gonna go straight flying monstrous creatures, you just need to get as many psychers as you can with demonology, and you just need to keep making more. I feel like,
Okay,
I mean,
that makes sense.
getting to create multiple lords of changes is really nice. I also think that
Yeah.
Necrons are very viable, and even Tyranids, because Tyranids give you more flying monstrous creatures that are really good, and Necrons give you more flyers that are good. And like I said, Zandrak being able to take hit and run away, you can tie up a Jet Seer Star the entire game, and
Yeah.
it's worth it.
I definitely think there's been a lot of talk about Necrons, especially because we showcased the game last night with the new Necrons, and the new Necrons are really great with the Ghost Arcs being objective secured and scoring. And one of the things I looked at is like when I was in here interviewing, I don't think I played against TJ playing Blood Angel. I don't think the Armor 13 wall is going to come back as big because I still think you need Night Size to deal with Flying Monster Creature Demons, and you having your own Night Size would just be your extra counter to what I'm bringing. So no, I think that's a great point. So another list
No,
that's been bouncing around. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna make one more point that chariots are silly now, and just
Yes.
think just think what Zandrak can do in a chariot.
Yeah.
Just
Um,
marinate on that.
if you want more information about the chariots, we talked about it. Justin Cook and Chance talked about it last night in their unit breakdown. Yeah, the chariot's pretty dumb. So we'll talk more about that later. So looking at it real quick, I know a lot of people have been talking about running an FMC demon list that's Psyker light. Keeping kind of favored, but going more with the flying Nurgle list, since psychic powers are so much less reliable. Instead of bank and making pretty much more, because like obviously the flying monster or the FMC list kind of right now just dances around the board, casts its psychic powers, and tries to whittle you down. People were talking more about we're gonna run a get in your face punchy version and let kind of Fate Weaver cast one or two useful spells a turn on whatever model is gonna need it most.
That's actually a really good point. So if you have with invisibility and the grimoire and only one grounding check a turn, you can essentially have three barrel sworded Nurgle princes with God knows whatever gifts you get, and you can have them right in their face. They're probably not going to take much damage because they're going to be in the air, and one or two of them are going to have invisibility. So you just land them and you go kill me or die. Now, granted, that also is very mission heavy because you especially know that a demon prince can die in one phase, as it generally happens to me a lot. So you could, it's still fragile, but that's certainly a way to go. And also having Fate Weaver be able to cast and make more demons is huge. I can't stress on the fact that, I'm not, that you could have him just make another greater demon every turn if you really needed to. Well, I guess no, he can't because it
Yeah,
possesses you, right?
yeah.
So you could have like a Herald make one, or like an Allied HQ make one. There's just so much potential there.
So, what do you think about the at least as of right now, rules is written? Any troop you spawn does not get objective controlled, because the objective secured rule says it has to be a unit from from your detachment, which they're not. They're spawn units. One, how much do you think that's going to affect them? And two, do you think that rule? Do you think the rules as written is correct, or do you think they intended to make them objective secured?
Uh, I don't. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I haven't played any games yet, so we'll see. I mean, you have more experience in that regard, but I do think that right now it has merit because you could just keep making unlimited units, and I don't think it'll be that big of a deal because now that everything scores, and I mean, killing troops is still going to be very important, but it just depends on how many troops people take because now that everything can ally with everything and it all scores, it opens up Pandora's box. I
Yeah.
mean, what if you have like a blob that you can stretch or end up on almost like three or four objectives simultaneously, depending on how placement is. I mean, they can essentially deny four and claim one. You know what I mean? And you can't just land a monstrous creature on it, or you can't. And if you charge it with a troop, it'll just kill it. So I mean, I think that changes everything. And I think having dedicated transport score, I don't even know at this point. My head is still trying to wrap around that thought.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting change. So let's look away from the FMC demons. Obviously Screamer Star. When people originally saw the psychic powers, people were like, "Holy crap, Screamer Star coming back in force." And it's kind of we actually played a game not under camera with it yesterday. Trevor Rowe played Rob Fortin, and one of the big things we noticed was that reliably getting off psychic powers was a little tougher than normal. And especially one of the big things is, again, rules is written right now. If a model in a unit casts a psychic power, no one in that unit can cast the same power that turn. So it's really a big thing with, not being able to reliably just dump a bunch of buffs. Do you think Screamer Star is going to need to adjust it all? And do you see a potentially third demon list outside of Screamers and FMCs kind of making its way at some point?
Well, Screamer Star essentially. I never, you know my feelings. I was in the minority. I never thought it was competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was too many eggs in one basket. If you knew how to play around it, it dies. Now, obviously, if you don't know how to play around it, it will beat you. But as I've said, along with Bob Rhoda, we both have stressed a lot that you haven't, it's not competitive. I mean, it's good, but it's not competitive. And I mean, you haven't seen it win now, and now it's gonna be even harder because if you fail that forewarning and you don't have a 5+ or you don't get that 2+ rollable, you're dead.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's okay. So long story short, I didn't think it was gonna win you a GT before. I know it's not now. There's just too much luck involved that you will fail one and you will lose a game.
I agree. And one of the big things that we talked about was adding up and like cutting down some heralds and maybe trying to diversify the list a little bit more. Is there any other demon list that you could kind of see being viable? I know one of the things I was joking around with, and of course now it seems viable, potentially just still a mass herald list, but maybe just trying to spread the field a little bit more with it and go with mass heralds to try to, like you said, turn them into greater demons.
Well, you can do that, or like, an option that I think I might like, and this obviously depends on how the meta evolves, but something to consider: 45 corn dogs backed up by guard blobs, and because the guard blobs score, you can just throw 45 corn dogs in somebody's face turn two. They're gonna have to deal with them, and by the time they kill them, when are they gonna kill the blobs? Like, there's only 5 to 6 turns in a game, and you only have 2 hours. I don't or even 3 hours. I don't just see how you're going to kill it all. So, like, you have guard. Well, you have guard, and it depends on the sources. So, if we're going to go to a two-source format, you have guard and demons, and you run 45 corn dogs, maybe some heralds, and then you run blobs with primarises, and those primarises possess themselves and just pop Lord of Changes out everywhere, or bloodthirsters. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the one big thing is you'll have a little bit to deal with, the because you still have the with one eye open rule, so you still have to stay with outside 6 inches during the actual game. So if the Primaris pops and he's in the middle of a unit, that can be an issue. You're just going to be mindful of moving him. The also nice thing is the Primaris power, or the Primaris Psyker will contribute psychic dice to the Herald if there's things you really need to get off on the Herald for the Corn Dog unit. I like that list a lot. That sounds interesting. We'll have to throw that together and bash the games
And
with it.
check it out. Because of the way ally or because of the way reserves work, you just start all the guard shit in reserve, and you just run all the dogs up turn two, and they're there. So I mean, you do stupid things like you could take Beast of Nerdle to go along with it, and remember when we did the math on the conscript blobs? You're looking at a conscript blob is like 240 or what, 230 points with a commissar,
Yeah, regular
and then
bomb
you
was
take
late.
a regular blob,
Yeah.
and then you just spend the rest of the points in demons. Good luck.
Yeah, right? That'd be nice to us. All right, so John, that's all the time we have. We appreciate you joining us this Saturday morning. Guys, pay attention coming up. We're going to have some more interviews. We're having a little bit issue getting a hold of Frankie, so we'll do a little bit of fill in before we jump into the next one. But stay tuned, 11:20 Eastern Time, we'll have something up. Again, John, is there anything you want to kind of send us off here at the end with regards to the edition? Or with regards
I
to
mean,
looking
it's
at
it's a
demons?
it's a brave new world out there. Everybody shouldn't panic and shouldn't be worried. I know there's some big changes coming on, and just have fun with it.
I
It'll be a
like
good
that.
time the next few weeks.
The sky is not falling. Don't jump off the boat. I like it. All right, John. Thank you. And guys, stay with us. We'll be doing this all day between games.
Done.